So for the selection of materials for the blade, basically all I want to use is I want to try and use one of these little motors that you sort of get in everyday kids toys and stuff. So basically that's what I've ripped this out of. There's a lot of LEDs and stuff on it, but I've took all them out. And basically you need a sturdy yet lightweight material. So my two options were some thin like perspex sheet, but it needs to be thick enough to be fairly rigid, or just some foam board. Now this is not any special foam board, this is just the cheapest stuff I could find. So basically I think what I'm going to do is, what I did was I strapped this to each one, like basically just tied it on like that, ran some voltage through this of varying different voltages, and found that the foam board was a lot lighter than this. Obviously there's not much in it when you pick them up, you don't feel that much, but for the running of this, the foam board was a lot lighter and it span a lot easier on lower voltage. So I'm going to go with the foam board. Plus the foam board will be a lot easier to cut into the shape of a saw. So it's a bonus really. Although I would have liked the perspex, because then I could have done some cool paint effects and, you know, put a little light behind it and made it look like the blood was really showing up on it. But you know, we could always probably try and find a beefier motor to use that. Something for the future to consider. But yeah, for this project we're going to go with the foam board. Now to cut it up and make it look like a saw blade. So now we've got this all cut out, which I think looks pretty cool, which took me a little bit longer than what I was expecting, because I was basically just overthinking what shape the teeth should be, but I just decided, yeah, we'll go for this. So what I want to do with this now is I bought some chrome, just cheap spray paint. It's not chrome, but it's fairly shiny-ish, just to give it a bit of a more realistic feel. But if I was to spray this straight onto this, it would just melt it to mush and it would be awful. So what we've got to do is we've got to put a barrier on this before we can spray this. And for that, I'm just going to use some PVA glue. Any sort of PVA is fine. This is just, I like to buy it in bulk, so I use a fair bit of it. So yeah, any sort of PVA, coat this, give it 2 or 3 coats if you want to feel safe. But you still need to be a bit careful with this, because you could miss something. And if you miss a bit on this and then spray it heavy with this, it's just going to eat through it and destroy it. So we need to get some PVA on, then we can spray this, and then we can start adding all the effects to make it look all dirty and old and rusty and blood and yeah, all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm impressed. Looks good. So I'll be honest with you now, things have progressed, and I didn't record it. So this is where we're at now. So we've got a nice semi-shiny blade. We don't want it shiny because it's supposed to be all beaten up, and I'm going to make it look all a bit rusty and blooded and stuff. But I wanted basically a base so that some of that, ever small amount of that, will come through, so it will just add to the finished effect. But yeah, I didn't record it because basically I was not entirely sure if this chrome spray paint was going to react with this and just destroy it. So I was, like you can see on the back, there's a little bit of, yeah, where it's reacted, where I've gone a little bit too heavy in it with it in places. But I've managed to, yeah, not have any of that on the front. There's a few little pits and stuff, but that's fine, because that will just add to the finished result of it looking all sort of blood stained and splattered and old and rusty. So yeah, I've just attached it to this bit of wood just so I could hold it basically, just to spray it without having to touch it. So that's the reasoning behind that. Plus it keeps it off the floor when I want to paint it like this, so I can just spin it when I need to. So yeah, let's make this look all old and blooded and yeah, all that jazz. So there has been a lot of different colours and shading going on this, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I think it looks pretty good. So yeah, I'm going to call that it before it's overdone. I could always add some more to it if I want to once I've got it assembled. So, but yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Obviously you're only going to see sort of that much of it at a time. So yeah, pleased with that. There's probably a lot more in there than what people are actually going to notice. Let me just see if I can... I've actually... Yeah, there's quite a lot of layers on that, but you really probably won't even notice it like that. That big splodge there. That is like an ink that I've got, and I just mixed it in with some like PVA glue. Basically, because the ink, I was putting the ink on here and it was just running straight off because it's ink. It's not gonna, you can't absorb into this. So I put it in some PVA glue, and then that's the medium that it needs to stick to it. So once that's fully dried, it will, yeah, it should give another little, it's like a slightly different effect. So, you know, put it all together and it adds the finishing touch. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. Looks good. Going to now assemble the motor to it, and yeah, we'll see if we can get that fixed to the back of the sign, and should be nearly done. How exciting. So now we're going to try and find something to get this motor basically onto that, minus the stick on the back, to get that on there, and then mount it to the back of the sign, which is just over here. So to do that, I've just found this little bracket that I had in my odds and sods, whatever box, whatever you want to call it. So that actually fits fairly snug inside that. So what I'm going to do is put that there, drill some holes in the side, put a little cable tie or something through it just to hold that in, and then probably going to get this bit of wood, stick it across the top of that like that, and then that should give us what we need. Obviously we need some little blocks either end of this bit of wood, and then yeah, that should give us what we need to put it onto the sign. So I'm just gonna throw all this together. I'm just making this up as I go along. I've not really got a massive plan, but yeah, it should look fairly tasty. There. Alright, so here we go. So it's in there. Got a cable tie across the top to stop it from going anywhere that way. And we've also put a little cable tie across the sides, front and back, that should stop it. I mean, it might move a little bit, but it shouldn't go anywhere too far. I don't want to restrict it too much, I don't want to damage the motor. So we need to get this stuck on the back of the blade. That. I've already got some pre-punched in holes that I did earlier, so what I'm going to do is get a bit of glue, stick that bad boy on, and yeah, that should do it. Just some regular Gorilla Glue. Now this does expand a little bit into a bit like an expanding foam sort of thing, which is fine for this because you're not going to see it. So it works a lot better if you spray a bit of water on it. This is not glass cleaner, this is just water. So we're just going to ever so lightly dampen the area. Oh, it's still actually a clear nozzle. There's a surprise. Let's put a bit of glue on this. Plenty, 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 plenty. Right, that's cool. Now when it hits the water it really reacts pretty quick, so we'll pop that on there. Pop that on there. Just as a bit of weight just to help it seal better. Just wait for that to go off. And then that will be stuck forever and a day. Right, so what's going to happen now is we've got this, basically the blade, this piece that I've cut will sit on there like that, and then to raise it is, and then to raise that, raise the blade away from the back of this, basically got these two little blocks that will sit, yeah, something like this. So yeah, that is the plan, and then it should give us enough clearance for the blade to do its thing. So yeah, that's the idea. Put it all together. The finished assembly. Yeah, I'm quite pleased. I sort of just made it up as I went along, but it's, you know, it's functional. I can hold it by that. It's fairly strong. It's not going to go anywhere. I didn't want to go too far into the MDF because MDF can sometimes break away, so I'd rather do a few little ones than a couple of big ones that could possibly break through. But yeah, that looks awesome. Look at that. And then we'll get the spinning blade going on. That's amazing. I'm well pleased with that. So this is the end of this project, and yeah, I love this. This is the greatest thing I think I've ever made. It's just, yeah, I'm blown away. I think it's such a fantastic idea. I'm so glad that someone has given me the drive to make this, and that it's actually going to be put somewhere where people are going to see it. I love this project. It was just so much fun to do, and just to see it all come together was, yeah, just amazing. So I hope this is put pride of place in its new home, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it on the old Jack Silkstone's The Launch podcast. But yeah, I'm pleased with this. Amazing. It's hard to box it up and send it, but yeah, yeah. There's still going to be plenty more of things like this coming up. You know, if you have any ideas of things that I can make, please drop them down in the comments below. I'm always open to suggestions. As I say, a lot of these things I make because people would like them. I don't I don't make money from this, I just do this just for the sheer love of it. So if you have any ideas, there will be a giveaway coming up soon, so let me know in the comments what sort of stuff you want me to make to give away, and I can sort out putting some of that stuff together. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, because there's going to be plenty more stuff like this going on. So thank you, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.